G'day everyone, welcome back to another Fantasy and SuperCoach review video on the channel. Today, going to be going over my teams from round 14. I'd arguably say the most difficult out of all the bye rounds, because a lot of coaches would have obviously had a lot of their primos out this week. Round 14, a pretty popular bye round, but yeah, hopefully all you lot had a good week. We'll start off as always with fantasy, and yeah, season just keeps on getting worse for us in this format. We are just inside the top 20k. Yeah, it's just been downhill since round 5. I think we're just outside the top 5k in round 5. In fact, let's have a look. Round 6. Yeah, here we go. Round 5k overall. And it's just gone downhill ever since, really. Making bad mistakes. And, geez, these bye rounds have been horrific for me. So many disappointing primos. And how about these inside midfielders this weekend? I saw on Twitter, actually, it was probably, I think it was like the highest, sorry, the lowest amount of, the lowest average for midfielders in a round in quite some time. And midfielders here, you've got Sarong, Dawson, Steele, no one really turning up. Goulden's been in great form though, Green at 88, and then Sharp at 15, he just couldn't get near the bloody ball. He only had like 4 touches. And McCall for the sub 2. Zorko was a good trade-in, and speaking of the trade-ins, we just went 2 rookies and brought in Zorko, which I guess was a good call in the end, because I was also considering Luke Ryan or Jordan Clark, but I went Zorko instead because he had the Saints, slapped the _VC on him, so a pretty sheepish move there, following the crowd with that one, but it did pay off. Meanwhile, Clark only went around a mid-90s score, and then Luke Ryan got like a 70 or something, so was able to make some ground with a good trade there, and the 𝐓𝐿𝐴 Wilson Garcia out. So yeah, 1666 it was in the end. Really disappointing score, but I'm hoping round 15 can be better for me. Nick Dacos, what a second half he had. He was tagged early on by Will Phillips, but I'm assuming Phillips must have run out of gas. That's probably why he was subbed out, because why would he have been taken out of the game? He was doing a good job on him. But yeah, 3 goals just in the final quarter for Dacos, massive final term, and yeah, gets to a pretty respectable 98 after getting well held in the first half. Hayden Youngs just continues to put out good numbers, a highly owned defender, just does it week in, week out in the mids for the Dockers, and geez, their midfield was torn apart by the Doggies on Saturday. Harry 𝐼𝐿𝐴 had a really good game. Oh, geez, his 4th quarter though, I don't think he touched the ball. Just couldn't get anywhere near it, but he still is a good quality player. He was able to kick a few goals, I'm pretty sure, as well. And yeah, you got to feel for North Melbourne today with their game. I thought the youngsters really gelled together well. Like 𝐼𝐿𝐴's great, and George Wardlaw probably had one of his best individual performances. Zach Fisher only the 71, butchered it late. I don't know what he was thinking with that kick. He should have just went long to the contest. Didn't really have great time management skills there. He turned it over and resulted in a Collingwood goal. And the shot on goal, that would have been nice. Probably would have given to roughly an 80, but no, he put it just wide. But Fisher, I still think he'll be a top 6 forward this for the rest of the season. Just didn't really get too many marks, to be honest. And yeah, it was a really free-flowing game, and Fisher wasn't really getting much of the 𝐶 action. So it is what it is. Fisher is still looking like a top 6 forward. I need to move him to my forward line eventually. Shaun Macca, brought him in this week. Looked pretty good on debut. Great kick of the footy, like we've all been hearing from draft reports and seeing in the VFL. And yeah, very nice. 74 on debut. Got plenty of kicking action. His defensive work still he does need to improve, but it was his first game, for goodness sake. That's probably being a bit harsh. But I think already he looks better than like a Riley Bonner. So given how the Saints do like to play, the chipping out of defence, I think Shaun Macca after his bye could be a nice cash cow for us late in the season. Heading into late in the season. Howes was the captain as we VC'd Zorko. And then to the midfield, Errol Goulden, 127. Another high possession game from Errol. Got, I think, 35 touches. His second quarter was huge as well. He's just getting all the ball in that second quarter for the Swannies. And yeah, it was really key in their second half turnaround. Caleb Serong. Jeez Louise. Disappointing trade in this guy's been. He's given me through an average of 95. I just don't know which promo to trade in, because they just let me down at the moment. Just couldn't get his hands on the footy and that much Sarong. I thought he was well beaten in stoppage and also in transition. It was a pretty ordinary game from him, to be fair, on the day. But it has to be said, Freo collectively as a midfield just got torn apart by the Dogs. Jordan Dawson started the game well against the Swans, but faded out. Couldn't really get his side over the line, so Yeah, disappointing only 4, but Dawson's still looking easily like a top 5, top 6 midfielder in fantasy this year, so he'll bounce back. Still with the 74, I'd probably trade him out, but I can't because my team is that bad. I've still got rookies on the field. But yeah, another pretty ordinary score from Still now, throw an average of just the 84, and he's got the bye this week, so a lot of coaches will be planning to get rid of him, which is definitely fair enough. Started the season so well Still, and it was looking like a great starting selection, but I think for him he just really needs the bye. Just get the knee right and all the niggles he's probably carrying, and could maybe bounce back with a few massive games, hopefully. Tom Green had a pretty good second half. He was a bit quiet in the first, but yeah, was able to accumulate the footy a lot more. Got his hands dirty in the coalface, quite on the mount in the second half. So crawls to an 88, but I should have just went Whitfield. Not go with Green. I was a bit optimistic, I think, with my thoughts on Green, thinking he'd really get going post-bye, but isn't looking like it so far. But he's got the Swans this week. He usually seems to play well against us in the past, so yeah, I'm hopeful for him to bounce back. Jeremy Sharp, probably looking like it's time to get rid of him. A 15, but at the same time, with how Sharp plays, he could easily turn up and have a really good game at the same time. So as crazy as it sounds, I don't know, do I want to keep him? Because he's just good to field. He can get you 80 plus, and I don't mind a bit of a loss there. But yeah, 15 is just no excuses. That's putrid. Only had 4 touches, non-existent on the wing. Yeah, a lot was played pretty much through corridor and in between the arcs, but he just couldn't get his hands on it. So 15 for Sharp, that's disappointing. And he's been a really good rookie this year too. Billy Dowling with a 55, but I'll tell you what, at the moment, he's probably looking like a player just to stick at F6 for the next few rounds. I thought his game was right, gave it a really good crack against the Swans. A difficult matchup, but was able to get his hands on it. His awareness was good. He had some nice, quick little handballs. But I think he'll just be a nice cash cow in the next few weeks, hopefully. And Joel Frazier, could maybe look to get rid of him on his bye. 14k now. Had a really good first half, but just couldn't get his hands on it that much in the second. And McAuliffe, bloody stitch up this has been. He's now been the sub 2 times in a row, so he's lost a bit of money. But he has the bye this week, so you don't have to get rid of him. He'll just hold his value. English, yay! Finally, the ruckman that I don't really want to own too much goes off. I mean, it was a fantasy and SuperCoach pig out on Saturday for the Dogs against the Dockers. So many players scored well, so English was able to, I think, yeah, kick 2 goals, float forward, take a few marks. Got the goal late as well to help us score. So happy with that. 124 from English. Nathan Kruger brought him in this week. A lot of people did, and we all thought, the easy matchup of North Melbourne, surely it goes well. It gives us a 41, but there's just literally nothing for rookies at the moment, and the mid-price options are very bare, so it's really the best I could have gone with, so I might gain maybe another 50k, then look to send him off in a couple of weeks' time, perhaps. Forward line, Dane Zorko, 125, but he was on, I think, around 90 at half-time, so yeah, wasn't able to get as much ball in the second half. I saw that he was getting a little bit more tagged. I think after half-time, the Saints came out with a plan to try and eliminate the Lions' chip mark movement. And the Saints were manning up a lot more on the defenders like Zorko, so wasn't really able to get the peel that much after half-time, but still 125, I'll take that on debut from Zorko. 𝐓𝐴𝐸 125 will definitely be up there for another Brownlow vote worthy performance. Excuse me. Yeah, massive quarter. Really helped the Swannies surge towards the win. Kicked, I think, 2 goals on the night. Yes, he did. Was influential again in the middle and also damaging up forward. He's been so consistent this year, 𝐓𝐴𝐸, for us. McRae is gone. 100% gone. Roll is just awful. I wouldn't say he's a plotter, because I still think when he finds the footy, he uses it well. But his accumulation days are long gone now. He might have a spike game here or there, but he couldn't even pig out against the Dockers, given how many players score well. He couldn't score well, so he's out for me. And probably the same for Tom Powell too, a 46, and he gave away a 50-minute penalty as well when the moments really did matter too. Crazy to think that we thought this guy could be a keeper this year, but Tog is not good, can't find the footy enough. Yeah, he's just having a bit of a mid-season lull, really, so he's just out for me. I can't stand watching this guy. I'm better off fielding a rookie at the moment. Last 3 averages 63, he's gone. Kyle Lohmann's been a very good rookie, 58. He has gone up 9k, but he's got Port Adelaide this week at the Adelaide Oval. But do I trade him out? I've got so many options to trade out this week. Players that aren't playing well with high break-evens. I might keep him for one more week, and given he has forward status too, it's handy. Harvey Harrison with the 42. Disappointing. I thought he'd have a day out against North, but wasn't to be. North were very respectable, but he did kick the goal in the fourth quarter, though, so helps salvage his score and beat his break-even. And that's pretty much it for my team from round 14. So now I move across to the trades for round 15. So as I say, the season's over. But we keep on punching through and maybe we can push back into the top 10k. But for like the last 5 weeks, we've been going down and down ranks every single week. So it's not ideal. So trades, there are no clear-cut rookies at the moment. I'm assuming Hutchison will come or keep his spot in the side, perhaps. They do play the Dons over there at Marvel Stadium this week, so he possibly could. But he's just a placeholder at the moment. Hutchison will just go with a debutant rookie. Maybe Clay Hall finally gets a debut. I don't know. And then, out goes Macrae. He's just not doing the business at the moment. Blake Howes is also out, so he's coming off his bye with a 71 break-even. Might score well against the North, to be fair, but don't want to disrespect them too much, given how well they went against the Pies, so you never know. And we'll bring in Jordan Clark. I'm also considering Max Holmes, but Holmes might get chin-collared this week against the Blues. But Clark's been a very consistent scorer this year in fantasy, so might as well get on him. And Luke Ryan's a bit too expensive for my liking. And Powell's also out for me because he's not scoring well, 3 on average of 60. And not really too much for forward options. I saw Jai Caldwell was also going well in fantasy like he is in SuperCoach. And they've got the Eagles this week. Darcy Parish is still out for another few weeks. Let's get him in post-bye. I think he can put up some good numbers. He's been very good this year. Great improver, Jai Caldwell. We'll go with him in a pretty tasty matchup. So that's pretty much it from me in the fantasy for round 14. Let's now move across to SuperCoach. Okay, across now to the SuperCoach review for round 14. We managed to get ourselves a 1976, and we've only moved down 82 positions on the overall rankings, which I don't mind, to be honest, given round 14 was my weakest buy out of all the buys. And round 15 is a pretty good buy round for me, I feel, with the trades I'm going to be doing this week. So, I don't mind it. We've pretty much held rank. We're still a great chance for a top 100 score. So, it's going to be a big week this week in SuperCoach. But for round 14, we'll go through the plays now. 𝐓𝐶𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐿. Again, a pretty sheepish move it was. A lot of people did VC him. He was on 100 at half-time. And, as I said in the fantasy segment, he just got sort of, I guess, tagged out of the game a little bit. The Saints forwards were able to press the Brisbane backline a little bit better. And he just wasn't able to get a lot of cheap possessions. And, didn't get as many kicks. But through the teams now, Luke Ryan, how about this, 79? And I saw a lot of people were considering putting the C on him. And I think that's his lowest score for the year. So, it was a very, very bad game of football from Fremantle, and not really many high scorers from the Dockers. So when Luke Ryan isn't getting those possessions, they quelled him out of the game quite nicely. The Dogs forwards, it must be said. Luke Ryan's not going to be putting up many points if that is the case. So 79, but we've had him pretty much the whole season. So it is what it is. Nick Dacos, what a second half he had. When he had like that goal assist, I saw he went up to almost 150, and then he had that turnover from the soccer, and then that led to the infamous, was it a 50, was it not, call. So with that turnover, he lost about 10 points. So 129 in the end, but I'll definitely tag that considering he was tagged by Phillips really well in the first half. Star player is Nick Dacos, really was key to their just fantastic comeback. Like coming back from being over 50 points down is incredible. So really, really good quality game in the second half from Dacos. It was really influential. 3 goal assists in the final quarter. Harry Schuzel with the 120 was on about the score at the start of the final quarter, however, but just couldn't get his hands on the pill when the moments mattered in that fourth quarter. But still, he's a jet. Schuzel finds plenty of the footy and uses it really well. Such a clean player. I love watching him. Jordan Clark, the trades, by the way. We used our final boost this week. We traded in Jordan Clark, Isaac Rankin, And then we also traded in 𝐼𝙗𝐸 𝐻𝐸 because we need him as a loop, as a DPP player to switch with 𝐼𝐿𝐴, as he'll be our 23rd primo. And who was the other player we brought in? I always bloody forget who was the other player we do bring in. Oh yeah, it was Dowling. That's right. Who got us a 55. So yeah, used 4 trades, 6 trades remaining. But yeah, Jordan Clark. It was, again, as I say, similar to Luke Ryan, it was a pretty disappointing day from the Dockers. So they couldn't really get their hands on the footy and really get that. They just couldn't get the game on their terms. Like, they didn't really get much kicking out of the defensive half. They just overpossessed the ball, really, the Dogs. So Clark couldn't get enough of it, and he had a few clangers too. So he had a negative ratio compared to fantasy. So it's a bit disappointing, but he still should be a top 6 defender coming in for the rest of the season. Gets a stack of it, and he's still in All-Australian form. Dan Houston saved my round with a 174. He was due for a massive game, to be honest, Houston. And, he was awesome to watch. It wasn't, Port Adelaide weren't awesome to watch at all, but his individual moments were very, very good. We all know Houston, a great kick coming out of defence, and that's exactly what he showcased, was hitting up targets really well. Those long, deep kicks towards hitting up targets with those long, deep kicks really did help his scoring. And he got a few goal assists, I'm pretty sure, as well. And he had 35 touches. So, yeah, massive game from Houston. And then, McGovern had the bye. 𝐼𝐿𝐴 is due to come back this week, which is good. Moving across now to the midfield. So, 𝐵𝗏𝗶𝗶𝗶, 162. What a game he had. Carried the team on his back again in that second quarter. And that massive surge in the second term and the third quarter. How about that goal he kicked on that 1-on-3? He's a special player, Bont. And good on you if you captain him there. That was a good decision in the end. Zach Butters was tagged by Toby Bedford. You just can't predict these stuff sometimes. Now all these star mids are getting tagged. So Butters was disappointing. And Rosie coming back from the injury and the bye was somewhat ordinary too. So yeah, couldn't really get much impact going, Butters, and he was a bit flustered too. They just eliminated him out of the game so well, but was able to get a bit of a surge late and crawl towards a 70+ score. Merritt was the captain for the loop for Zorko and had his bye. Dawson, 79, very disappointing. He started the game well. He kicked the goal in the first quarter, but just faded out, just like pretty much the whole Crows side in that second half. So that's not ideal. Dawson is, I guess, a pod for us. So with him scoring 79s, it's not ideal. And then you've got players like Davies, 𝐼𝐿𝐴 and Goulden outscoring him by at least 30 points. It's not an ideal thing at all. And that's the same with Jack Steele. I was probably not, 25%. He's not really a pod, but I still need Caleb Serong in this team to complete my side. So he's probably the one out, Jack Steele, given he's got his bye. And he had no centre bounces in the final quarter. So I don't know what all that was about. He was probably tracking towards the ton and just didn't get thrown on the ball. And then, Tuke Miller had his bye. Tom Green, again, just why did I trade him in? He's given me an average of 79.5 the last 2 weeks. I just should have went with Errol because he's a great player and I'm a Swans fan and I love watching him. But I went Green, and it's probably looking like it was a bit of an optimistic thought process with Green, thinking that post-bye with 𝐼𝐿𝐴 in there, he'd really get going and own that midfield, and just isn't. He was on about 25 points at half time. And to be fair, though, his second half was much better. We're just going to have to stick fat with him, really. We brought him in, so we have got to really, keep hopeful that he can put out a big score. And as I said in the fantasy segment, usually goes well against the Swannies. And then Joel Frazier, he'll come out this week, but I'm happy with that. He gained 17k and was pretty good. He had like 40 points in the first half. So, yeah, he's been a good rookie. And then Welsh will come back in. Now, I've had Clay Hall all season. Apparently, he's very close to a debut for the Eagles. So, it'd be nice if he debuts this week because we'd have an extra man on field. But we'll see. And then, 𝐿𝐴 we brought in this week so we can swap with 𝐸𝐿𝐴 if we want to cover somebody in the midfield. Just a bit of a handy loop there, or handy DPP he has. Gawn had the bye, and Grundy just continues to be an absolute beast. And it's amazing how if you held Grundy the whole season long, it's turned out to probably be the best decision. And that's exactly what I've done. And he dominated against Kieran Strachan, who, to be fair, is a 10-gamer. Or he's played probably, I think, around under 10 games. So, Yeah, his contested game has been huge, Grundy. That's why he's been scoring well, and his hit out to advantage work was probably not as good as last week against the Cats, but yeah, he was playing angry. Again, I think it was game high for contested possessions. He had like 21, so yeah, he really dominated Strawn and had a big game on Saturday night with a 154. For the forward line, 𝐼𝐻𝐸, massive third quarter, as I said in the fantasy segment. Yeah, was big on their surge and their win for the Swannies. 𝐻𝐸, yeah, really efficient with his use. He has been a little bit, he's had a few little clangers here and there in and under, but he was really clean on Saturday night. Hit targets well and kicked 2 goals. And 𝐸𝐸 got the same score as 𝐻𝐸, as I said before. Yeah, got a bit nullified in that second half, so he wasn't really free-flowing and getting all those uncontested possessions as much. But I'm still happy with the 141 as a VC score. And yeah, we brought in Rankin this week because I needed a forward. I need to complete my team, and my buy cover for this round coming up in round 15 is really good. So I was able to bring in another round 15 promo before their buy, and I'll take a 96 from Rankin. He looked good on his return. He was pretty clever with a few of his disposals. He was working hard at the ground, and yeah, the role's pretty good. He got plenty of time on the ball. And he kicked 2 snags as well in the second quarter. But I think he was on like 70 points at half time, so he could have gotten a little bit more, but I'm happy with the 96, considering it was against the Swannies, who are a pretty tough matchup at the moment. Zach Fisher, his score got killed after that terrible kick-in, so that's not ideal. He probably should have gotten an 80 odd, and if he kicked the winner, he probably would have genuinely gotten 30 points. So yeah, it was a bit of a sliding doors moment there for Fisher, but still will be a top 6 forward, so let's not stress too much. Harrison was disappointing, didn't even beat his break even, so he lost $700 on him. But he was going to come out this week regardless. Kicked the goal in the fourth quarter though, which helped spark the Pies come back at least. But he's still a good quality player, just didn't get much of it. Billy Dowling will probably be a forward loop for us for the remainder of the season. As I said in the fantasy segment, he gave it a really good crack. I like him as a player. He had some nice moments. He used it well. He had a few clangers here and there though, but not bad for a second game against a pretty tough matchup of the Swans. So realistically, he should be staying in the side, and he will make us some money. And he's on the bubble now with a negative 46 break even. So he'll rest up this week, and hopefully he can just stay on the side for the remainder of the season. So yeah, that's pretty much all the teams. So 1976 we got. So yeah, trades for this week. So round 15 buys, there are quite a few. But with my trades this week, I'll be fielding 19 players. So yeah, that's pretty ideal. I'll definitely be happy with that. It's a buy round that everyone I think will struggle with round 15, but yeah, I'm bullish that we can score well this week, given we are going to be having 19 primos this week. So yeah, we've got 6 trades left. We're going to be using all 3, but this will complete our team pretty much. And we'll have 𝐼𝐻𝐸 as the 23rd primo, who will be back this week. Apparently, I'd probably say 95% chance he's back this week. So for the trades, we are going to be getting rid of Harvey Harrison. He's made us his money. Probably not the best rookie, but he's made us roughly what? 60k. Yeah, it's probably not the greatest one in the end, but was able to get a nice score last week against the D's at least. And Joel Frazier also comes out and he's done his job. He's been a good rookie, and we're going to be bringing in as the forward option to complete our forward line, Jai Caldwell. I've been really keen on this guy the last few weeks. His numbers have been really consistent. If you have a look here, ever since round 3, he's put up a good score. Now, this game against the Eagles, sorry, I'm not showing it. This game against the Eagles here, he got a 58, but remember, this is when he was subbed out with a hamstring awareness. And he was looking like he was going to get at least a 90 plus from this game. So, yeah, don't look at that 58 too much. He's been, very good. I think he will be a top 6 forward for the remainder of the year. No Darcy Parish too. He's got a good matchup this week against the Eagles. I think he goes well, and should be a good forward option. And he's cheaper than Luke Jackson too. Like Jackson's an extra 50k. I think Caldwell is probably a better option, given he's got a bit of a better role. And then we'll go with that Payne fella from Geordie Payne. We'll go with him because he's mid forward, and we can swap him with a forward in here. Given there's not really many rookies to be cited at the moment, there might be a debutant this week, but we'll just stick with Payne for now, given he's 102k. Pretty much our team is complete. So we complete those 2 trades, and then this week we are going to be fielding 18 players, but we are wanting to trade out Jack Steele and getting 𝐓𝐴 𝐎𝐿𝐿. So if I just put these players in the right spots here. So yeah, 21, 20, 19. I know Payne wouldn't play, sorry. So 21, 20, 19, 18. So we'd have 18 this week if we weren't to trade Jack Steele. But Sarong has gone down to, I think it was like 590. Yeah, 590k. I think it's a good time to pick up Sarong now. I know he's been ordinary the last few weeks, but it's 𝐓𝐴 𝐎𝐿𝐿. He's a gun. He's still a high averaging mid. I need him in my team, really. So yeah, still hasn't been too crush hot, and 0 CBAs in the final quarter does make me concerned. So I think we're bringing Sarong, and with 3 trades remaining, that's pretty much our team complete. We have got 22 primos, plus a 23rd of 𝐼𝐿𝐴 who'll play this week, given Dacos has got the bye. We'll have 19 on field this week. Still a fraud watch, though, of the likes of Tom Green, and 𝐼𝐿𝐴's been ordinary, but still his scoring this year has been pretty good. He's not really sputtered up apart from last week, just got tagged out by 𝐼𝐿𝐴. So yeah, that's really pretty much our team complete. We've got 3 trades remaining for injury trades, so yeah, don't know how I feel about that, but I'll tell you what, for my first year of genuinely giving SuperCoach a crack, I'm pretty content with this. So we'll see how this goes, and fingers crossed nobody on my side gets injured. So yeah, big round 15 coming up. I think we've got good cover, so hopefully we can go back up the ranks this week. So now let's have a quick look at the leagues. Rolls Macca League. So, oh damn it, we're not top of our own league anymore. Ryan, team name 𝐵𝐺𝐻, has overtaken us. So let's just move our camera across. Let's have a look at his team. So he's sitting 333rd overall. Very nice. Got a 2085. Great score this week from good old 𝐵𝐺𝐻. Didn't VC 𝐵𝐺𝐻 though, which is a bit of an odd one given his team name's 𝐵𝐻𝐻. But he VC'd 𝐸𝐸, which is really nice. Yeah, Nick Dacos in his midfield, very good. Again, some ordinary midfielders. Yeah, Sarong going low helped me, so I can get him for a good price this week. He's still got a 150 break even though Sarong, but let's just bring him in. Still under 600k is a pretty good deal for a player like himself. Had Houston, which is huge. Shaun Maker, really good trade him if you got him in this week. I personally didn't because it doesn't really fit my team structure. I still got bloody Marty Hoare at D8. And then for the forward line, Jackson, very good for him. And yeah, Fisher, 𝐸𝐴, 𝐻𝐡𝐻, pretty much everybody owns them. And yeah, English finally paid for their owners, given he's been a bit ordinary in SuperCoach the last few weeks. So very nice stuff there from the 𝐵𝐺𝐻. And who was our highest points scored this week? As we take a look. Fun picks only once again. How about that? He's been picking up some big scores the last few weeks as we've been tracking along in these videos. So Grundy, menacethedennis. As pretty much a lot of people did, he also took 𝐸𝐿𝐴's 141 as a VC. Looking in the midfield, Sinclair, really good pod. Well done if you own him. He's been electric the last few weeks. Really helped with no 𝐼𝐴𝐴 Shaun Maker, good trade in. Jaden Short, another pod. So his pods are really lifting for him at the moment. And I guess Houston's somewhat a pod. I mean, I've started in the whole season. He's been pretty good. But yeah, very nice stuff there from Fun Picks Only at 2180. Okay, we'll have a quick look now at our fantasy leagues. And on top again, it is 𝐸𝐻𝐺. And he got for the round a 1772. Now, what was he round 13? 49th. So he's gone down a little bit, but still sitting at contention. We'd love to see it from 𝐸𝐻. But a 1772, I'd say is probably around par this week in fantasy. So yeah, it did go down a few spots, but he VC'd 𝐸𝐿𝐴, which is very nice. Dylan Moore was a little bit quieter, but was still pretty key in a lot of moments in that win over the Tigers. Fisher was down. Everybody owns him, though. Cherry continues to be a great improver for North Melbourne this year and a good fantasy pick too. Sinclair, good pod. Very well done. Jack Crisp. Damn, should have traded in this guy. He's been awesome the last 5-6 weeks now. Gordon was massive. That's a pretty decent midfield considering there are a lot of spud scores this week. Bontempelli and Gordon, very nice. And yeah, Jordan Clark too. Overall, pretty solid side there from 𝐸𝐻. And best of luck for him for his charge towards a hut. Hopefully he can get it done from Rolls Macca. So that's pretty much it from me, everybody, for the review from my fantasy and SuperCoach teams for round 14. Let me know how you lot are going down below in the comment section below. Feel free to ask some questions about who do you want to bring in this week. Always happy to answer them down below in the comments. And that's pretty much it from me, everybody. Hopefully to enjoy, and I will talk to you later. See you later, fellas.